Hello students, I am Dipali Devi, your geography teacher. Today I am going to discuss the third chapter from your textbook, our changing art, internal process. In this chapter, we have to study about internal or endogenic forces, plate tectonics, diastrophic movements of earth, vertical and horizontal movements, volcanoes and their types, earthquakes and their effects, earthquake preparedness. Already I have done in your live class this chapter, so I am going to repeat again. The surface of our planet Earth is extremely uneven and irregular. Already you know that the whole Earth, all the parts of the Earth is not even in all places. Some are rugged and some are plain. So the surface of the Earth is extremely uneven and irregular. That means not equal in all places, not similar in all places. There are various landforms on the surface of Earth, such as mountains, plateaus, and plains. Like that, the mountains, the plains, plateaus, these are not similar. The mountains are the higher landforms. After that, the plateaus are lower than the mountains and higher than the plains, and plains are the only the surface where we live, where we move from one place to another place, where we build our houses, like that. These landforms are subject to continuous transformations. These transformations on the surface of Earth are a result of two types of forces: internal or endogenic forces and external or exogenic forces. These forces working continuously both inside and outside the Earth lead to changes in the physical appearance of Earth. So you see, the internal and endogenic forces and the external and exogenic forces. The some forces are continuing, happen inside the Earth, and some are happen on the surface of the Earth. The internal forces or the endogenic forces, these are happening inside the Earth. Inside the Earth, you see, the surface of the Earth, if we go inside the Earth, we have to go 35 kilometers deep inside the Earth. And after 35 kilometers deep inside the Earth, we reached mental part. We reach the we reach the mental part. The mental part again into upper mental and lower mental. So in that mental part, the earth is the temperature inside the earth, the temperature and pressure is high, and the things are in a liquid form. These forces working continuously both inside and outside the earth lead to changes in the physical appearance of earth. In this chapter, we will study about the role of the internal forces in shaping Earth's surface. Then how the shape of the Earth changed due to the internal forces. Then we are going to discuss about that. So internal or endogenic forces, the forces that originate from the interior of the Earth due to the tremendous heat, they are called internal or endogenic forces. Already I told you, when we reach the mental part, right deep inside the earth, the internal part is very hot and the pressure is also high. The energy emerging from within earth, is the main cause behind these forces. So some energies are coming out, the energies emerging from the within the earth, that all over the earth is the main cause, because these forces, because of the endogenic forces. These forces cause movements in earth's crust, which are known as earth movements or tectonic movements. And these movements are known as the tectonic movements. Then inside the earth, the due to the heat and pressure, these tectonic movements are happening. Because of, you see, the land, the surface of the earth, the lithospheres are formed with some plates, and these plates are moving anytime as a result of the endogenic forces. The word tectonic is derived from the Greek word tecton, meaning builders. As the same suggests, these earth movements are constructional and have been responsible for building various types of landforms. So, the builders means the tecton meaning builders. Builders means as a result of the tectonic movements, the earth inside the earth. Then, as we know that inside the earth is very hot, the molten magmas are present inside the earth, and when these tectonic plates are moving, then sometimes there are some collisions each other as a result of earthquake happening, and as a result of the tectonic plates movements, the volcanoes are arises and created some landforms by these molten magmas, then which are coming out through the vent. Vent means the ways through which the molten magmas are coming out and deposited on the surface of the earth, along with some ashes and the molten magmas. And these molten magmas we call as the lava on the surface of the earth, already I told you, and deposited on the surface of the earth and created some rocks. Then these are turned into some landforms like that. So as a result of endogenic forces, internal forces, the landforms are formed. Another thing, that as a result of the volcanoes, as a result of the earthquakes, some landforms are created. That means the some upliftments and the downfall is happening anytime, and created some landforms like hills or mountains, the plateaus, plains, the seas and oceans also. These are result of the internal and external forces of the earth. Next, plate tectonics. British geologist Dan P. Mackenzie and Robert L. Parker and American geologist W. Jason Morgan, working independently but on the same lines, came out with the plate tectonic theory in 1967. The plate tectonic theory coming in 1967 by this geologist. So one is the British geologist, the two are the British geologist and one American geologist. The two British geologists are the Dan P. Mackenzie and Robert L. Parker. The American geologist is the W. Jason Morgan. According to this theory, the lithosphere is made up of various plates known as tectonic plates or lithospheric plates. The tectonic plates are formed in lithospheric plates. That we are standing on the lithosphere. The topmost layer of the earth is known as the lithosphere. In that layer, the tectonic plates are formed. The tectonic plates are irregularly shaped, large slabs or rocks. All the landforms and water bodies of earth exist on these plates. Under these plates lies a layer of magma or molten rocks. I told you these plates are constantly moving over the layer of molten magma. These tectonic movements bring about changes on the surface of the earth. Thus, I told you the changes, that means the creation of the landforms. Creation of landforms as a result of the arising of volcanoes and the earthquake happening like that. The tectonic plate system consists of 12 major plates. Out of these, the tectonic plates are 12 major tectonic plates are there. Then of these, 7 plates are referred to as great plates. Out of 12, there are 7 large or great tectonic plates are there, and these are quite extensive. These plates are the Pacific Plate, the North American Plate, the South American Plates, the Eurasian Plate, the African Plate, the Indo-Australian Plate, and the Antarctic Plate. These are the 7 tectonic plates. These are great tectonic plates out of 12. The Pacific Plate is the largest plate because of the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean and consists of mostly the ocean floor. All the other plates consist of both continents and oceans. Out of these 12, these are from these oceans. The Pacific Ocean plate is the largest plate. The other plates consist of both the continents and the ocean also. That means in the land and the water bodies. On the basis of the time taken by earth movements, the internal forces cause diastrophic movements and sudden movements. The diastrophic movement means sometimes some areas are expanded and some are compressed. So these systems known as the diastrophic movement. And you see the sort of the internal or endogenic forces, diastrophic movements, that means the slow movement and sudden movement. Diastrophic movement happening in a slow manner, that means compressing and expanding. The sudden movements are the earthquakes and the volcanoes. The diastrophic movements are the vertical movements and horizontal movements. As a result of the horizontal movements, the folding and faulting also there. These are happening in the mountainous areas. Folding and faulting. That means horizontal movements. After that, diastrophic movements. What do you mean by diastrophic movement? You see, the diastrophic movement are slow movements which bring about changes gradually over a long period of time. The upliftment, subsidence, and submergence of Earth's crust are the result of these slow movements. These movements act on Earth's crust either vertically or horizontally and hence are further divided into vertical movements and horizontal movements. I repeat this paragraph. The diastrophic movements are slow movements which bring about changes gradually over a long period of time. The upliftment, subsidence, and submergence of Earth's crust, that means the upliftment, subsidence, and submergence, some are coming upward and some are in going downward, of Earth's crust are the result of these slow movements. These movements act on Earth's crust. The diastrophic movements happening on the surface of the Earth. That means they are either vertically or horizontally. That means vertical means already you know about the vertical and horizontal, and hence are further divided into vertical movements and horizontal movements. Then in case of the horizontal movements, the folding and faulting are created. The vertical movements are also known as aperogenic movements. Aperos in Greek language means continent. As a result of the vertical movement, the continents are formed. Hence, they are also called continent building movements. Then vertical movements, also known as the continent building movements, and the continents are created as a result of the vertical movements. The vertical movements are the one part of the diastrophic movement. These movements are mainly associated with the formation of mountains and plateaus. That as a result of these movements, mainly the mountains and plateaus are formed. These slow movements take place over a long period of time. Consequently, large-scale upliftment and subsidence of a part of Earth's surface takes place. So it is not in a short period of time these are happening. It not in a short period of time, but it is happening. The process is going on for a long period of time, and as a result, the surface of the Earth upliftment and submergence take place. The upliftment of land results in the formation of mountains or plateaus, and the subsidence of land results in the formation of valleys as a part of Earth's crust sinks in comparison to the surrounding region. So, as a result of the upliftment, the plateaus and mountains are formed. And submergence, some parts are going down as a result of these vertical movements, and river valleys are formed. That means some parts of the earth crust is going down. So the the formation of the valleys are taking place. That means the some portions of the earth crust sinks. Sinks means going down in comparison to the surrounding regions. These movements may also lead to the submergence of landforms under water bodies. These movements also lead to the submergence of landforms under water bodies. That means some of the landforms are going down and going down. That means the under the sea or the ocean, the landforms are submerged. There are some evidence of submerged buildings and cities due to subsidence into the sea. So these are the result of the vertical movements. Vertical movement means from the surface of the earth going upward in a straight, like a perpendicular. One such example is the submerged ancient city of Dwaraka in Gujarat, in India. So, ancient city of Dwaraka in Gujarat is the example. That means at one time this area submerged due to the result of the vertical movement of the earth. Next, horizontal movements. Horizontal movements take place on earth's crust due to the compressional and tensional forces. These forces can cause folding and faulting on earth's surface, leading to formation of mountains and valleys. So the students, then we have to stop our class today. Then we will discuss in our next class about vertical movements again and the horizontal movements like that. So thank you to everybody and bye bye.